After much fighting and surviving, they managed to find their way to a Duragar fortress called Emberhold, where they found Lady Kima captive beneath. They released her, and then, using her help, assaulted the throne room at the top and managed to slay King Murgle of the Duragar. However, in the process, Grog, our intrepid barbarian, was kidnapped by the queen mage before she could be slain, who then also disintegrated a portion of the roof, letting an entire cavalcade of molten rock into the fortress. The party then had to make a heated escape. However, a number of their party members, due to the gaze of a basilisk, or two basilisks that were kept in the throne room as pets, Lady Kima and our Tiberius Stormwind, our Dragonborn sorcerer, are currently stoned. Dragging them out of the fortress as the magma began to fill the interior. A very deft escape was made, aside from Vax unfortunately getting his foot temporarily submerged in the lava, taking some serious damage to his foot. The party managed to make their way outside of Emberhold proper, and you've all taken a moment to breathe at this point, realizing that thankfully, for the most part, you've all survived, aside from the missing party member and a few in a state of flux at the moment. So, glancing around, you start hearing various Duragar screams from above as the individuals that were still inside the fortress are in the process of trying to get out, or in the process of slowly melting in the molten rock. What you do also notice is that off towards the bottom base of the stronghold, a number of the Duragar that reside in the buildings that surround the exterior of Emberhold proper are mounting arms and charging up towards the stronghold to give aid to wherever this seeming loud shouting and screaming is coming from.
There was a path further down.
Get out of here.
There was a path further down that led further on into the tunnels. I think we should follow that.
Well, hang on. Grog can't be far, right?
He could be in another dimension.
No, he can only be 1,000 feet away.
Who says who?
They used the spell Dimension Door that Tiberius has.
So we hope
He used
she
what
used
you
Dimension
used.
Door.
I have a spell that can go to another dimension.
Well, I remember the gods on high telling us last week that we recognized the spell that was used
By
to
the way,
be Dimension
this is
Door.
the best
right.
conversation we've ever had with Tiberius.
Right.
Serious.
Oh man, I feel like it's gonna come back to bite you in the ass later.
About 20-25 minutes or so, you manage to pull just past where the lava flow dips down into what looks like a small opening in the flooring, and you are past the immediate heat of the magma river. You are now pressed up against the wall of the cavern as it begins to twist around and head downward, further deeper into this subterranean mountainous space. You're all beaten, you're all sore, and currently, what do you want to do?
I'm going to walk over to Tiberius and cast Greater Restoration on him.
Okay, so as you're having this discussion, Tiberius, you briefly go from this moment in the heat of combat where you feel your muscles intensifying and tensing up and not answering to your mind's command as you look up angrily at a series of Duragar that have just been blown up by a fireball, to cold taking yourself, and as the cold fades, you're now in the center of a gargantuan cavern surrounded by all your friends. You guys watch as Tiberius' form fades into
Tiberius!
stone.
Tiberius! Good job!
I'm so worried about you.
Or we could cast a spell, that also works well. That
But that's the only time you can do that, right?
Wait, she can't do it again? You can't do it again?
I have another 5th level now.
Oh, do you?
I could do it again.
Oh,
Yeah,
boy!
Kima.
Once we rest,
I'm
we'll do it
Whoa,
again.
whoa, whoa.
What happened to all the other little dwarves?
Oh, you don't have to do the accent anymore.
You probably should keep your voice down.
What, this is just how I sound?
Oh, that's
forgot.
right. He's still. No.
He's a god.
We already
He
got
thinks he's a
through.
god or something.
We're on the other side.
god.
You don't have to act like a god anymore. We're fine. We're
He's
fine.
method. He's method.
Grog is missing, actually, and the queen
great.
took him.
Okay.
Are
Keep
you
your
stuck
voice down,
like
Grog.
this?
No, I can change back anytime I want, but I really like how I look.
So I'm gonna walk on over to Kima.
Yeah.
Touch her. Cast Greater Restoration again.
Okay.
Where do you touch her?
I touch her.
Slowly.
I touch her arm.
Okay.
Don't cheapen that.
Classy. As you reach out,
I don't want to get in more trouble.
the divine energy emanates from Pike's hand that begins to cascade across Kima's form. Kima, who is in mid-battle with her greatsword in the air, as soon as her flesh returns to her, she finishes her swing.
Oh no. I put my shield up.
However, it does into the side of your shield, and you deflect the blow, and you see Kima for a second. It's like,
Easy.
Calm down.
I know it's really weird.
she throws the blade
It's
down
really weird.
on the ground. And goes, I'm so sorry.
It's
I'm
okay.
so sorry.
You were mid-swing. I get it. We're fine. It was just a shield. We're fine.
She reaches around, she pulls her symbol of
that was
Bahamut out
scary.
from around her neck and just clutches it for a second and says, "What happened?"
We all
You
fought
returned to
bravely.
stone. The king got killed. The queen took Grog. We don't know where.
And Clarota was really helpful to us.
Actually, Clarota got you out of that castle alive.
She turns around and glares at Clarota briefly with a look of confusion and mistrust, and Clarota just goes,
Oh my gosh! Wait, did I hunter's mark the queen?
Yes, you did.
Did I?
Yes, you
did.
You did.
I can use my hunter's mark to track her.
You can? How long does it last and how does it work?
But that was just 30 minutes ago.
I
I know, but
use
we
it.
all have to
It maintains
rest.
for up to 8 hours.
8 hours. We have to rest.
What if we use your hunter's mark, get
Figure
there,
out where she is.
figure out where she is, get there, camp out nearby, tackle it in the morning?
Can I use my hunter's mark to find out where she is, and then we rest and go there?
attempt that. You,
Because if we are really, really, really careful...
Let's see how far she is.
What if we took a
Let's
short
just
rest?
find out where she is first.
you concentrate on this, and you recall the stronghold. You begin to see a trace where all of a sudden her path in the stronghold is fading and is cold. A new path has opened up in the center of the Duragar city at the base of the stronghold. It seems to have moved slightly in that direction, but you can pinpoint where and is currently at rest somewhere in that vicinity.
She's still close.
They're close.
Brilliant idea.
One last thing before we lay our heads down for the night. Pike, do you have any kind of salve or anything you could help me put on my foot? Or is there any... could your god
Like a...
help with my little toe?
So,
I mean, a clockwork foot from Percy does sound cool.
if we're gonna rest, it doesn't hurt to try. Right? You know?
Yes.
That way you can sleep on it, you know?
We can sleep on it.
Literally.
Sounds good. Yeah.
Okay,
With a
so,
little hinge. A little
Maybe
hinge.
this
I'll try
yellow
cure
vial
wounds.
of potion could do something
at,
for her as well.
That's been gay.
I'll try it at 4th level.
At a fourth
Since
level?
We're gonna sleep.
All right, so go ahead and roll the corresponding dice for that.
I'm kind of keeping an eye out
to
for
check.
48 plus 5 is what it will be.
48 plus.
I'm lit. Aw, why do you keep putting your foot up near me? Can I kind of keep an ear out for anything?
Wait, plus my
approaching?
Very much
spellcaster. Plus my spellcaster.
It's pleasure modifier, which is 5.
So I'm gonna sing while you heal, if that's all right
Ooh,
with you.
Please do.
So all the healers convene. Scanlan begins.
Light some sage.
Whatever. Okay, ready? Wherever you go, whatever damage they've done, we will be right here waiting to heal you. No matter what hit points you take or how your foot breaks, we will be right here waiting to heal you.
All that improv skill paid off.
As you take the healing energy you've gathered from your own nature-based casting, you infuse the healing spell you do. How many points did you heal total?
27.
27. Go ahead and make a medicine check.
Is this what I can maybe assist her with?
You've already
Really
assisted her.
disgusting, by the way.
Oh, I
It's
have.
just
What do
Oh,
I?
doing what you're
What do I roll for? Do
Okay.
I roll the
so
20?
gross.
Roll a d20. and
Can
find
I
your
apply
medicine.
my luck feat to her?
You don't have any feet left.
Feet pun!
21. As you finish the spell, you can see where the mostly gone second small toe has grown to mostly a full toe, and there's a small stub where the little one is.
You've got a toe nubbin.
Hey, man, we got a little stub out of it.
You're promoting a level of divine regeneration at a very, very slow pace, meaning you've never attempted this before, and there is some progress, but this may be an overtime thing you have to do.
Before we go to sleep, I go over to Kima, and I just say to her, Lady Kima, I think we're all going to take a rest, and you as well, correct?
I think I should.
We can trust you while we're all asleep, not to do anything to any of our companions, correct?
If you're worried about the Mind Flayer, I'll be keeping an eye, but nothing beyond that. Remember, he has to make the side step. The wrong step before I take any action. Trust and know that if I were to strike a blow, it's at his own poor choice and actions. She is legitimately concerned about Clarota, but also understands that at this moment it has not done anything to necessarily draw her blade.
Lady Kima, Clarota, may I suggest you take the first watch?
Oh my god, what if they start fucking?
So it's going to be that sort of evening. Excellent.
Rated M for mature.
The cruel king, who dealt the final blow?
That would be the Kingslayer. Me?
She steps up and walks over to you and puts a hand on her shoulder and gives you a stern look in the eye and kind of shakes your shoulder. She's a halfling, she's not too much stronger.
Okay.
Good. The cruel king is down, and I thank you for that. She walks back to a little perch in the rock on the side of the wall and says, he tried to break me. Relish in his false superiority, dragging hooks across my flesh. Underestimating the will of a servant of Bahamut.
Are you congratulating us for being murderers? Is that what you're doing right now?
Oh, he was a foe against...
Murder and justice are two entirely different things, and the deities of all good saw fit that this king's time was limited.
Are you suggesting now that we control the wills of the deities?
No, but we enact them, as long as we work within their plans to keep us safe.
I could look like them.
It's mighty bold and presumptuous of you.
My life has been given to the guidance of the Platinum Dragon, who has not seen nothing but the positive direction for all of your species, mine, and the rest of the humanity that exists in the material plane. You would do well not to disrespect one who looks out for you, even though you may not look up to him for guidance. The reason these lands that you grew up in are safe and free, as much as they are because of the sacrifices of my brethren who came before me under his light and guidance. I am not saying you to worship him. Each one has their own gods of choice. I just say show some respect.
I do show respect, Lady Kima. I show respect when I feel that respect has been earned.
The great Platinum Dragon bestowed upon my humble self a dream. I saw an ancient vision of the great and terrible god of undeath himself, Orcus. His crimson leathery skin and endless wings rumbling through the abyss itself. He had chosen a champion. One that would unite the material world in the heart of the abyss, bringing a doorway of oblivion to our world. He cut from his own head 2 of his terrible black horns, placing them upon the brow of this chosen warrior, his avatar to these realms, granting him power no mortal should ever have. I saw heroes long forgotten rise up to destroy this shadowed champion, losing much in the ensuing battle, lost far more than you or I will ever know. The body of the avatar was burned away, but the horns of Orcus remained, untouched by flame, blade, nor divine judgment. These keepers of the horns had a title that time has taken, and the whereabouts of the artifacts that had been thankfully lost as well, until the next dream dispelled my confusion. I felt a cackling entity of immense power who had discovered one of the holding vaults, never meant to be found, This creature obsessed spent all their attention to unlock the promised treasure within. And over time, they did. One of the two horns had found a new champion. One who now resides deeper within the Underdark here. One we've now known to be called Kavan. This one who has united the Illithid and Duragar alike under a banner of madness, expansion, and mockery of life. I've seen these experiments as have you. This is what I came down here to dispose of, once and for all. Now, I hired some of the finest warriors in Craghammer for this, all of whom have been slain or worse. That guilt weighs upon my soul in this very quest. However, this Kavan monstrosity, it holds a Hona Orcris upon its brow. But my visions have told me that we must destroy it. And must do so soon. If it had already unlocked the artifact's true potential, Craghammer would be a ruin before you even arrived. But it's only a matter of time. We must end Kavan and retrieve this horn, and return it to the Tal'Dorei Council to discuss how to seal it once more. Hopefully for all of eternity. Your friend's loss is a terrible thing, but we will try to find him. And should we not understand that his sacrifice was not in vain? For we're here not to save one, but thousands. Hundreds of thousands of lives if we succeed. So we sleep, we rest, we find your friend, and we destroy this abomination, this anathema.
Lady Kima, I only hope you do not eventually become what you fear so much. Good night.
Sleep tight.
She picks up her blade, sits back down, and goes back to sharpening.
Pike, I'll cuddle you for warmth if that would help.
It's already so hot in here
Oh,
with all
right.
the lava and
Right.
stuff. I
Okay.
would just prefer to sleep alone. I'm sorry.
That's fine.
Good night.
That's fine. That's what I meant.
I turn into minxie form and kind of go off in the corner. And
Scanlan, I am very cold.
You know what? We better let that foot heal. We better let it heal.
Drink it. Go sleep with me.
That's a good idea. Come here, Trinky. Drink! Who wants nibbles?
Trina comes up and curls next to you.
You gotta think
Your
about this.
mark.
Restorations in there.
Wait, your mark, your hunter's mark, which you can feel the magic of it is slowly waning as the spell comes to the end of its effective period, is moving.
Where's
It's
it moving?
moving out of the city.
Where? Which
Let's
direction?
mobilize.
Best you can tell, it's heading towards the opposite side of the cavern, towards where it curves down deeper and below. You continue to crest along the outskirts of the cavern wall at this point, using Trinket's help. As you yourself are not quite as attuned, a Trinket does pick up a little bit of grog scent in this pathway. So Trinket kind of gives you a nudge and points deeper down the cavern, and you can see what looks to be a smattering of small Duragar-sized feet, and two grooves.
Two grooves.
Two about 2-inch wide grooves that continue down the
I wonder if
path.
they have him prisoner now, if he came out of his mind funk.
So, like almost wheel tracks?
No, like they're
They
dragging.
could very well be wheel tracks.
Or if they have
Like
him
they're
on a train
dragging, or they're
him.
dragging his body.
They're consistent, and their width is consistent
They're-
across
they're
the
With this, and they seem
There's
clean.
two groups.
Put him on some sort of stretcher thing.
Yeah, it sounds like they have him on like a
Some
on
type
a
of
trailer.
Yeah.
Lovely. Well, Grog definitely came this way, as did the Stitch Monster, so you don't have much choice but to follow.
You continue down, and the topography, which was once the black, jagged obsidian flooring of the previous portion of the Underdark, begins to give way to a more natural gray sand type texture. Your feet sink about a quarter inch or so with each step, and you get about 10-15 feet before the color of the sand and the texture changes dramatically. It looks almost like a peppering of small whitish yellow stones and rocks, as well as bits of black and gray. It's like a giant rocky pit out in front of you. As you're looking around, you go and inspect the stones. What you do notice is they're not stones. There are pieces of glass, little shards of actual volcanic glass scattered across this entire field, mixed with an endless, seemingly sea of small bone chunks.
Chunks?
Pieces of bone that have been rounded off, ground, broken. They're
Bone pebbles.
ancient.
Okay.
Lady Keyleth, if you will.
Yes.
Could you perhaps make a flat, sturdy stone tablet we can all particularly stand on?
Sure.
Make sure it's under 100 pounds, if you could. Or actually, 200 pounds. I have a little bit more to work with.
I use stone shape, and I just kind of
Lifting this?
bend down and make like a big circle where I am and kind of carve out a little cylinder with stone shape.
So using a very earthbendery hand motion, you take a portion of the wall right next to you, send it outward, and begin to shape it into this large kind of cylinder disc-like platform that is just on the ground right at the base of the platform.
Everybody, hop on. I hop on.
Up on this rock.
Oh, wait a minute. How much does Trinket weigh?
A lot.
200.
Oh.
I think it weighs more than that.
We can do this. We polymorph trinket.
That's it! Yes!
We polymorph trinket.
Very good. Very good.
Into a tiny.
Make him
Do you
into
have
like
holy
a
oil on
chicken.
you?
A trinket.
Wait. You're focusing on the slab, aren't
You
you?
instinctively kind of like glance around.
No,
you
the
look
slab
down,
just
and
happens.
You notice you
I
are
can
the
cut it
holy
out,
symbol
but it's not- it's not all stone.
Saren Ray.
Very good.
Has a hairline fracture in it.
What does?
What was once a perfect and impeccable
She's pissed off her
figure of
god.
design. You've had this your entire life. You look down and see, you don't know how recently, but a portion of the metal symbol itself is cracked.
Oh no,
Her
this is
abilities are
terrible.
Like, pray, do something. Maybe.
What does that mean? Maybe
I motion
it
over.
happens in the fight.
I motion over to Pike, and I take her medallion slowly off of her, and go like, and bring out my mending wheel.
Your mending wheel, which was where? The bag of holding.
No, I held that.
The mending wheel's this big. You haven't been carrying it with you this entire time.
I thought it was like this big.
Tiberius. Tiberius.
I'll take
You're
my symbol
ropey.
back and put it back on and say this is something that I got it.
I don't even have
This
that.
is something I need to deal with. We can't just put it in a mending
The
wheel.
gods
I
reward
thought it was like-
deeds, not words.
Yes.
Comes out and then.
Maybe it happened in the fight. Maybe it's
I think I know why it happened.
Maybe because you've been killing unarmed people?
I think it was when I slit the guy's throat. She
Maybe.
got
It
mad.
could have been.
Just a hunch.
But you know what? We'll do some good deeds when we're done.
Yes.
Oh,
This
we-
is something that I need to fix, but I thank you for trying.
All right, so you all stand on the platform. It rises up, and it's one of those, like, all of you kind of like have to gather yourself, but nevertheless, it is now floating. How long does that last, concentration-wise?
10 minutes.
All right.
Quick.
So,
Let's go.
Tiberius begins to concentrate. The stone begins to glide out over this expanse of broken bone and obsidian glass. You get about 300 feet out before you hear a loud, echoing scream across the cavern.
Male,
front of us?
Is it Grog?
In front of you guys.
Female,
What does
male?
it sound like?
It's male and it's loud.
Go, can we go faster?
I push us forward towards that. I mean, we're going that direction anyway, so I speed us up.
Eventually, the little bit of light from your light spell cascades past one of these joining parts of a wall, and then beyond that, you can see what looks like a few other stone pillars that are sticking up, and you see what looks to be a small party of Duragar that are in the middle of battle. There is one Duragar who is just splattered across the bone floor. You see a troll that is currently in the middle of a fist fight with something that's moving extremely fast. This blur of motion. You can barely make out the physical form before the troll turns and runs in your direction, surprised to see the light coming towards you. And in its expression of extreme confusion and fear, you see something whoosh past and its head just
Oh, that's not Grog. Shit.
shoulders.
We're going to Wood Monster.
The troll body hits the ground. As it does, you see bits of bone begin to rise up and pull the troll down underneath.
Oh, it's really good when not
Daggers
standing
out.
up.
Daggers out.
I get my legs just
All right. As you
out.
guys begin to push forward, you can see two of the Durgar are now like backing up instinctually. One looks down at his feet now that have been grabbed, and he's being pulled under. And as he starts trying to wrestle himself free, This blur of motion jumps off one of the platforms, spins in the air, and lands with a slam that completely splatters across the rock that he's right next to. This Durgar that is, you can see just part of his jaw go flying off to the side, and silence hits him in the middle of his scream. The last Durgar there, you can see, who's looking around, sees the stone platform and goes, "Let me on! Let me on!" And goes running over and it's trying to jump up towards the stone platform you guys are on.
How much does he weigh?
Well, he's going to go ahead and try and grab it with an athletics check. He makes it.
No, kick
He gets onto the side.
Kick him off.
He's falling up off the side.
I've only punch him in the face. We can question him.
Okay, you go ahead and poof, you just beat him in the face.
Oh God.
He holds tight.
Oh.
You're not a very strong
I
person,
grab him by the
unfortunately.
cloak. What is it? What is it?
I don't know! Get it away! Get it away! You see a humanoid form. A bit of looking at the body and the torso, it looks elven. It's very thin and gaunt, legs dangling, as 4 giant, jagged-looking tentacles sprout from both sides of its torso, holding it aloft. 2 of lifting it off the ground and keeping its body suspended, while 2 are whipping around in the process. As you're glancing, you see its head glance up toward the wall. These blank white eyes just kind of shooting around in different directions spontaneously with this kind of maddening look. This, whatever this is clearly insane and is currently driven on some sort of hunger bloodlust. The stitch marks you see across its body are very reminiscent of the earlier abominations that you saw created by Kavarn and sent throughout this cavern structure.
He's the only one who sees it, though, at this moment.
Correct, yes.
God damn it.
Do I
Do
see
we see it too?
Like,
you guys haven't yet. In the moment you're talking to this dwarf, you're like shoving him off the platform.
can I see it as I'm like cruising?
Let's pull him up.
You can see the blur moving.
Yes, the twins pull him up, and 1,
As soon as
2, 3!
As you chuck the Durgar through the air, the creature who's briefly had stopped, and you guys now see its motion stop, and you get a full view of its horrible form.
Oh my God.
It licks its lips, and you can see now where its mouth is. The lips curl back, and the jaw splits open slightly. With this horrible kind of predator-like fanged jaw, and the 2 tentacles that are currently up in the air reach out, grab, and just split it in 2. Its torso then divides and just kind of sprays it with crimson as it licks it out of the air.
I'm still going. I'm still going. I'm not standing and watching.
So,
Have we passed it yet?
everyone roll initiative.
We're
going in?
Say we should try and avoid him.
That brings us to Tiberius. You're up.
I move us right above the butthole. And everybody, hold on. And I fucking slam all of us right on him.
Okay. All right. So the platform comes cascading down at a fair speed, immediately breaking over this creature as it is a pretty thin wall to have only been about 100 pounds.
Just 4 inches thick.
It completely shatters over the top of it. Everyone who's on that platform, go ahead and make a dexterity check.
Get it, guys. Come on.
Well, all right. So all the rest of you manage to leap off and tumble the best you can to get to the ground, catch yourself, except for Tiberius.
Wait, do I make a dexterity check? I mean, I'm not. Okay, yeah. No.
You're still on the platform. It just shattered around you.
And then, okay, right. And then something else.
So you, however, fall prone on the ground from the impact and land on the ground. That's also going to end your turn. Kima's turn. Kima, who just managed to land, grabs her sword and reaches over. You can see the divine energy instilled within her blade. She is going to make 2 attacks against the creature. She rushes towards it. As it slashes across, you can see the torso kind of splits open. And as the torso opens up, you can see a part of its guts begin to spill out. And they begin to slowly pull themselves back in.
Oh, hell.
She's Wolverine!
Scanlan, you're up.
Okay. I think I'm within range. I'm just gonna blind the bitch. So I cast blindness on her.
Okay, what's the range on that?
It's a girl? It's a her?
Isn't it a girl?
What? No, it's a male elf.
Yeah, well, I'm so demeaning to it. I call it a girl.
Why is that an
It is a chauvinist, and I know that just by looking at it.
It's a chauvinist.
I'm prone.
So what's the range on that, Scanlan?
I'm looking.
Disadvantage on his roll.
You're in the wrong group to be saying that shit, man.
I'm drunk.
Keyleth, you're up.
Okay. I'm gonna make us a dance floor.
Thank you.
So I'm gonna do wall of stone. Kind of How concentrated can I do my wall of stone, actually? Can I do a wall of stone to where it's like donut shaped, to where there's a hole in the middle? And now I make a wall going across the top?
Donut of stone.
You know, I would say,
Like
based on the description of it here,
A horizontal wall that's...
10 foot by 10 foot panels.
Panels. Square.
So, yes, you can.
So I can't...
Alternatively, you can create 10 foot by 20 foot panels that are only 3 inches thick.
Okay, well then I'll do
You
it.
can create any shape you desire. So you can make it in a donut hole type thing if you want to.
Dope. I'm gonna make a donut-shaped dance floor, and I'm gonna make a hole in the middle to where he's still in the middle in the bone, but we're all on rock, like kind of around this area,
Okay, so it's just around all of you guys or underneath everybody?
underneath us.
Okay.
I'm making a dance floor.
That was an excellent move by a strong, independent woman who doesn't need a man to tell her what to do. Or to validate her in any way.
That's right.
I call out across the bone field.
I want everybody.
Not be able to get Pike, I don't think.
Brotherhood of the
rest of these
Sisterhood.
guys.
Oh, well, all right. I'm going to. The first thing I'm going to do is going to shoot twice into the face of this asshole.
Okay, go for it.
Shoot twice into the face of the asshole, Percy.
14,
14 does not hit, unfortunately.
but 28 will.
28 will.
Oh my God, this is awful. 6.
6 points of damage. Alrighty.
That's just embarrassing.
That's something. That's something.
Hey, you know
Percy.
what? We're getting close.
That's better than a 1.
Pike is just an inspirational
No, man,
poster
it's
today.
You're
She's like, it's okay, you can do it.
Trying to do
Thanks,
good
Mom.
deeds.
All right.
Thanks, Mom.
That's your turn?
No, I'm gonna try and make a run for it for the stalactite by your head.
Trying to stock
Yeah.
up karma points.
Okay.
Maybe you'd like to shoot
Run back. Pike, you're up.
Okay, so from where I'm at,
Yes, on top of this wall here.
I'm on top of a wall. I'm gonna guiding bolt
Okay.
the whatever it is.
Okay.
19.
19. So as you look down, you grab your holy symbol, and even though it is cracked, you still feel the presence of Sarenrae looking down upon you. The divine energy coalesces in your hand, and you throw it forward with a divine wrath. As it streaks across the air, it slams into the side of this weird, twisting abomination. And as it blasts into it, you can see its tentacles reel back and pull back in severe pain, and it roars this horrible screeching scream into the cavern around you, echoing down the hall. It's looking a little rough.
Okay. And then there's nothing I can do from there, right?
That's your action. You can move if you like, move along the wall or hop off it or whatever you want to do.
Come closer to me.
I'll stay.
All right.
Because she's an independent woman.
That's a proud choice, and I honor and respect it. 'Cause I love women.
So currently, because it's
Pike's not the only one cashing karma points.
correct. Now technically, I should remember this, but you hit anyway.
Sweet.
Top of the round now, the monstrosity goes ahead and gets its round. It's going to go ahead and lash out where it thinks people are around it. That brings it to a total of 18 points of damage with an additional 6 acid damage. Lady Kima.
Ooh, acid. None of us have gotten hit yet.
And the tentacle wraps around her and grapples her in place, and she's currently held in place by its tentacle. Tiberius.
Yes.
So, do you get up? You're currently like lying on the top of the wall.
I look around and I don't like what I see.
Okay.
And I try to get up.
Okay.
I my ion stone, and I conjure out telekinesis from it, and I guide it towards the monster's tentacle to unwrap it off of Kima. And I'd attempt to pull it off of her. To free
Okay.
her.
Go ahead and make an Arcana check.
That's telekinesis, Kyle.
Sweet. 20.
20?
Yeah.
All right. As you focus your telekinesis, the tentacle gets to shake and is pulled off of her body. Kima wrenches herself free.
Nice.
She's not currently grappled.
Can I also go like, stop hitting yourself! Stop hitting yourself! Stop hitting yourself! Stop hitting yourself!
The tentacle starts slapping around its body, and it kind of looks confused. It doesn't enough to really do any damage, but it just looks unsure as to why it's having a hard time controlling its own.
I give a nod to Kima.
Well done.
That's my turn.
All right, cool. Kima's turn. Kima sees you holding it down, takes the sword up, swings it, and is going to come on down, spending a level 3 spell as a divine smite against it. And it's that hits the 22. This advantage is kicking its ass. Second attack.
Nice blind, Scanlan.
Yeah, that's oof. Yeah, both hit.
For the lady.
The first one.
Nice.
All right. Ooh. 36 points of damage from the divine strike. That ends your turn. Scanlan.
I have no ranged attacks, except I can viciously mock it. So that's what I'll do.
Do it.
I'll say, you know what? Your tentacles make you look kind of fat, and the elf thing is played out. It's sort of 1990 Orlando Bloom, and the whole bone thing is just really tacky.
I look at Scanlan curiously.
I actually feel kind of hurt about
looks
that.
over. You look over your shoulder at Scanlan with a curious look. Roll a 4. So essentially, being blind, all it can rely on really right now is audio sensation around it. And it picks up ringing through the air what hint and shred of humanity within its psyche understands the common you speak in its direction, and for a moment it seems to sag all its tentacles. Go ahead and roll damage for your vicious mockery.
You said 3. Yes! It's the only ranged attack. And as my bonus action, I'm gonna inspire somebody. I don't know who. I look over at Liam and I do one of. Vax, and do one of these.
All right, you are strangely inspired by that. Okay. Brings to Pike. You're up.
Since I'm there, I'm gonna cast Guiding Bolt again.
Okay.
Sorry, guys.
That's a lot of math.
You know what? Women are good at math.
They are.
They are.
They are.
Probably better than men.
I would say
And
probably.
then do I add anything?
No, that's just the 7d6. So
26?
26 damage. Nice.
Good adding.
Hey, thanks!
And you can see now the tendrils open up, even though its eyes can't see. You can see what looks like a bunch of gills across its body, slits in its torso, and it kind of almost looks like all of them open up in these tiny little mouths. You can also see teeth rippling through them, and expels this cloud of green gas that around everyone within 10 feet of it. You guys take 14 points of acid damage.
Dang.
However, Chlorota and Kima and Trinket all take 28 points of acid damage.
28 points?
Yes.
For Trinket?
Yep.
Is Trinket still a
No,
cat?
Trinket's kitten form is taken away as the polymorph wears off.
Oh, shit.
This bear bursts out from your chest.
Oh no! Your shirt is ripped.
All of a sudden, my bosom.
So Trinket's at full health
bear
again.
chest.
Hold on. The kitten form, I'm gonna say would have about 5 hit points. So taking 5 from the 28, Trinket has taken 23 points of damage.
Now we know how many hit points it takes to kill a kitten. That will actually be useful. 5 hit points. 5 hit points, everyone.
All right. Okay, Trinket scrambles up the side of the wall. As it does, one of the white eyes is looking around like an iguana. Focuses on Trinket. Goes to whip towards Trinket. That is going to be a 24 versus armor class.
Oh, it hits.
Trinket takes
Oh, no, oh, no.
17 points of damage,
Oh, no.
Wait, what's he at?
plus an additional 5 points of acid damage.
Trinket's
As Trinket climbs up the wall, and then streaks and falls back down onto the bone unconscious.
Bear down! Bear down! Bear down!
Oh, no.
He's lying in the skeleton.
He's looking at the skeletons.
Actually, at the end of your turn, go ahead and make a death saving throw. For Trinket. So.
A death saving throw?
3 successes or 3 fails. That's the first fail.
First fail on Trinket. Okay.
Wait, what? No. I can add a +10, right?
To a death saving throw?
Not so much.
That's be attacks for you, unfortunately.
Okay, I'm gonna spend my movement to get nice and firm, sit myself down, pull out the big gun.
Okay. Bad news.
Bad
You
news.
can see over the wall now, the top of the stalagmite, which stands about 15 feet to the top. If you get to the top, you pull the bad news out. You have a pretty clear shot down towards the entity.
Kill him,
Taking a
Percy.
sharpshooter shot. Natural 20 on the sharp.
Go ahead and roll damage for this one.
This is gonna be so much fun.
Did it? Come on. So good.
It was all
So
flashy.
7, 8,
Ooh!
13,
Hell yeah.
10, 11, 12, 13,
Spend that grit.
13, 14, 15, 16, 16, 26, 27, 37, 38, 39, 41, 42 points of damage.
How do you want to do this?
I take the bead and I want to wait till the eye is looking right at me, and then I want to take it right through the eye.
Okay, so as the entity turns around, its head kind of cocked to the side, its tendrils flailing around it, one kind of lifting it up. You can see it begins to reach up to bring a lash down upon the bear that is being clutched into the ground. As its eye streaks around and catches yours, you release, pull back on the trigger. Boom. The impact blows you off the top of the stalagmite. You fall in the air, but in that midsection, you keep your vision on as you're plummeting back. In this almost moment, as time slows, not wanting to lose this moment, you see the bullet insert the head. One of the eyes now goes dark from the crimson impact. The jaw opens slack, with all the teeth exposing, as the back of the head just splatters all across Vax, who is standing behind it. Just, I love it. All right, so you've all gathered around. You give Trinket, you administer a potion. Trinket heals. Which potion are you using?
The minimal, because somebody else can heal him.
Yeah,
right?
we'll heal him.
That'll be 2d4 plus 2.
7. He's only got 7 though.
Okay, so Trinket comes to consciousness.
Trinket! Twink!
As soon as it opens up, and the first thing Trinket sees is your face, Trinket begins to lick the side of your face.
Buddy, I'm crying and I'm bending him and I'm saying it's okay.
You guys stay back while you go ahead and stealth your way up. Did you roll disadvantage on that one? Disadvantage on
Disadvantage on it?
Your foot.
It's your foot.
But the cloak then cancels it out.
That's right, yes. So you're fine. So it's a natural roll.
So 25.
25, okay. So you make your way through the darkness around the side of the stone platform, and as you crest your vision, you can see the flickering is indeed a small campfire. Not used for light, but apparently used for cooking. As the scent also hits you, there is some sort of meat currently being cooked on this flame.
It smells good.
It smells pretty good. You're not quite sure what the source of the meat is. You worry for a second because you see the two Duragar that are sitting there currently holding the meat in the center of this are standing next to a giant troll who has its hand on the side of a rickety wooden cart. On this cart, which you can see, there are 2 sets of wheels on each side. There is a large, lumbering Goliath individual currently held down with bands of iron. Your mind for a second thinks, oh god, are they eating him? But you see he appears to be intact, though with a quick glance as you peer on the other side of the stone column, you can see his body is riddled with scratches and small wounds and incisions, and you can see where streaks of dried blood are across his entire body.
Oh no.
They're gonna try to make him into one of the Stitch monsters.
Yes, they are. We're
you,
not there.
you also do see across the way there are 3 tents set up around this area. One of the tents opens up, and you see a Duragar female step out, silver circlet across her forehead, long robes. Queen Ulara walks up and starts talking to the other Duragar, pointing to your Goliath friend, to Grog, on the front of this, motions to the other 2, and steps back into the tent, closing it behind her as the 2 other Duragar kind of like grin. One reaches into his pouch and begins to pull out small, looks like metal hooked utensils, possibly to go in for another round of whatever they've been doing.
I'm gonna kill that bitch.
Into my earring.
Come now. Vax just said we should go.
And this is where we're going to end today's session.